A very pleasant morning to all my dear students. Today, 30th of September 2020, we are again here with our explanation of lesson 5, that is the Happy Prince. Okay, so before we proceeding to page number 34 and 35, let us revise what we have seen in the previous class. In the previous class, we have seen that the Happy Prince told the swallow that there was a little match girl in the square and all the matches had fallen in the gutter, and her father would beat him if she would not take any money. Okay, and that girl was crying so much. So he asked the swallow to pluck out the sapphire from one of his eyes and give that to her, isn't it? Then he asked that, the swallow told that if I will do this thing, then you will become blind. But the Happy Prince, he gave the order that whatever I give you the command, please follow it. Okay. So anyhow, the little swallow just pluck out one of the sapphires from the Happy Prince's eyes and give it to the little girl's hand. Right. The swallow then flew back to the Happy Prince. He felt he told the prince that he would stay with him for the rest of his life because he had gone blind. अब वो अंधा हो चुका है, इसलिए अब स्वैलो बर्ड हैप्पी प्रिंस को छोड़ के नहीं जा सकता। The Happy Prince asked him to fly over the city and tell him what he saw. Okay, he also told the swallow what misery is going on in his city. So this much we have seen. Now let us see page number 33, the last one. Dear little swallow, said the prince, you tell me of marvelous things, but more marvelous than anything is the suffering of man and woman. There is no mystery so great as misery. Fly over my city and little swallow and tell me what you see there. So the Happy Prince asked the little swallow, just go and have a flyover and see the misery or the poor condition of my people, what they are suffering from. Happy Prince ने swallow bird से कहा कि तुम जाओ और पूरे शहर में घूमो कि शहर की स्थिति क्या है, शहर में किस तरह का लोग किस तरह की तकलीफ उठा रहे हैं. So the swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich men making in their beautiful houses while the beggars were sitting at the gates. He flew into dark lanes and saw the white faces of the starving children looking out listlessly at the black street. Under the archway of a bridge, two little boys were lying in each other's arms to try and keep themselves warm. How hungry we are, they said. You must not lie here, shouted the watchman, and they wandered out into the rain. So the swallow flew over the city and he saw happy children. He saw many poor people also. The Happy Prince asked him to take leaf after leaf. Then he saw that some children are happy, some are poor one, they are suffering from any miseries like that. In this way he saw some sights of the city. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. I am covered with fine gold, said the prince. You must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to the poor. The living always think that gold can make them happy. So when the swallow bird flew back to the Happy Prince, he told about all the miseries happening in the city. The poor children, the unhappy boys, like that. Then the Happy Prince asked him to take out leaf after leaf, one leaf of the gold leaf, and give it to the poor children, because these living peoples, they become happy after getting this one. तो हैप्पी प्रिंस ने कहा कि मेरा पूरा शरीर गोल्ड लीफ से है, एक एक लीफ लेते जाओ और उन गरीबों को दे दो ताकि उनकी हर एक ज़रूरत को वो पूरा कर सके. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold the swallow picked off till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold he brought to the poor, and the children's face grew rosier, and they laughed and played in the street. We have bread now, they cried. So in this way, the little swallow, he picked out leaf after leaf and fulfilled the desire of the poor children, and now they get the bread. They become very happy. Until unless the leaf of the happy prince get it out, it become dull till the swallow bird pick out each leaf after leaf. Swallow bird उसके एक लीफ के पत्ते लेते ही जा रहा था जब तक कि पूरा शरीर डल, उसका ग्रे और अजीब बद्दा सा नहीं दिख जाए, तब तक उसके सारे लीफ देके गरीबों को उसने उनकी इच्छाओं को पूरा किया. Then the snow came. Now it's a winter season. The streets look as if they are made of silver. Everywhere is snowfall. सब जगह snowfall हो रहा था क्योंकि winter season आ गया. Everybody went about in furs, and the little boys wore scarlet caps. Scarlet caps means red caps, and skated on the ice. So now the winter comes. Everywhere snowfall is there. Everywhere wore fur type के कपड़े पहने थे. Little boys ने red caps लगाई थी, and they are skating on the ice. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder, but he would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking, and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. So the little swallow bird, now he also become very colder. उसे बहुत ठंड लगती थी, लेकिन फिर भी वो हैप्पी प्रिंस को छोड़कर नहीं गया. और जब वो ब्रेड के क्रम्स वो लेता वहाँ से अपनी भूख को मिटाता था, और धीरे धीरे इस तरह से इधर उधर मूव करके अपने आप को वो वार्म अप करने की कोशिश करता था. बट एट लास्ट ही न्यू दैट ही वॉज गोइंग टू डाई. स्वैलो बर्ड को लग गया था कि अब वो ज़्यादा दिन तक नहीं सर्वाइव कर सकता. ही हैड जस्ट इनफ स्ट्रेंथ टू फ्लाई अप टू द प्रिंसेस शोल्डर वंस मोर. अब इतना ही कंडीशन था कि वो वापस फ्लाई ओवर होकर हैप्पी प्रिंस के स्टैचू तक आ सके. गुड बाय डियर प्रिंस, ही मर्मर. विल यू लेट मी किस योर हैंड? क्या मैं तुम्हारे हाथ को किस कर दूँ? उसने लास्ट बार बोला. I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow, said the prince. Prince told that, yes, I am happy that now you are going to your own hometown, that is Egypt. You will get warm there, right? क्योंकि मुझे खुशी कि तुम इजिप्ट जा रहे हो. You have stayed too long here, but you must kiss me on the lips, for I love you. It is not the Egypt that I am going, said the swallow. I am going to the house of death. Death is the brother of sleep. Is he not? तो little swallow ने कहा कि I am not going to Egypt. I am going to the death of house. मैं मृत्यु के घर जा रहा हूँ एक लंबी स्लीप के लिए. And he kissed the happy prince on the lips and fell down at his feet. और उसने किस किया और उसके पैरों पे अपना दम तोड़ दिया. At that moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue, as if something had broken. So as the soul was taken out from the little swallow, the moment it happened, the statue became cracked inside it. और एक जैसे ही swallow bird किस प्राण गए, उसी पल स्टैचू के अंदर से इनसाइड से क्रैकनेस की आवाज आई. The fact is that the leaden heart, means made of lead, snapped right into two parts. दो हिस्से में. It certainly was a dreadful hard frost. दो हिस्से हो गए उस स्टैचू के भी. Early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in company with the town's councillor. As they passed column, he looked at the statue. Dear me, how shabby the happy prince look, he said. Next morning, mayor and his councillor, just they went for the morning walk, and they saw the statue of happy prince, that how it is look dull, isn't it? How shabby. The town councillor also said, who always agreed with the mayor, and they went up to look at it. The ruby has fallen out of his sword, his eyes are gone, he is golden no longer. The mayor said that this statue is no longer golden. ये तो gold रहा ही नहीं, इसकी sapphires नहीं है, इसकी ruby नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है इसकी. He is little bit better than a beggar. Beggar की जैसे भिखारी की तरह condition होगी statue की. Little better than a beggar, town councillor said. And here is actually a dead bird at his feet. कंडर द मेयर ने देखा कि एक dead bird वहाँ पे उसके feet पर गिरी हुई थी. We must really issue a proclamation that birds are not to be allowed to die here. And the town clerk made a note of suggestion. Then the town mayor had given announcement or the given order of that no bird will remain here in this statue. So they pulled down the statue of the happy prince. As he no longer beautiful, he is no longer useful. The art professor at the university said कि जब इसकी खूबसूरती स्टैचू ऑफ हैप्पी प्रिंस की खूबसूरती नहीं रही तो इसको यहाँ रखने से क्या मतलब है, तो उन्होंने उसको गिरा दिया. Then they melted the statue in a furnace. फिर उन्होंने उस स्टैचू को पिघलाया. What a strange thing happened. This broken lead heart will not melt in the furnace. उसका heart, lead heart, वो melt नहीं हुआ. बॉडी का बाकी सब हिस्सा हो चुका था. We must throw it away. So they threw it on a dust heap where the dead swallow was lying. और उन्होंने एक dust heap के वहाँ फेंक दिया. Bring me the two precious things in the city. God to one of his angels. God said to his angel that bring two precious things in the city. दो ऐसी बहुत कीमती चीज को लेके आओ शहर में. The angel brought him the leaden heart. उस हर्ट को, स्टैचू प्रिंस के हर्ट को, और द डेड बर्ड को लेके आए. You have rightly chosen, God said, for in my garden of paradise, this little bird shall sing forever, and in my city of gold, the happy prince shall praise me. बोले कि इस पैराडाइज के गार्डन में, इस शहर में, स्वर्ग के इस घर में हैप्पी प्रिंस हमेशा रहेंगे, उनका प्रेज हमेशा किया जाएगा, और लिटिल बर्ड हमेशा गाते भी नजर आएंगे. So in this way we can see in this chapter the happy prince and the bonding, the relationship between the statue of happy prince and the little swallow bird made him a close contact with them, that they have whatever they have did it, the affection relationship. It taught us that we should have to maintain that decorum, that relationship which makes us our life easier and fruitful. हमें भी इस तरह का एक बॉन्डेशन बनाना चाहिए जिससे हम दूसरों की हेल्प कर सकें, दूसरों के दुखों को समझ सकें, उन्हें फील कर सकें. So I hope whatever we have discussed, whatever we have taught in this class, it must be clear to you. Thank you so much.